We're studying GCSE chemistry and we're starting chapter 13, the periodic table. Now, this chapter is all about what are the groups and what are the trends in each group. We just look at some properties of group 1 and group 7, and we look at transition metal noble gases. Now, these are brief properties of the groups in the periodic table, because when we go to metals, you should know what are alkali metals, what are earth metals, what are transition elements, all of that. Let's start from here. Neha, start reading.
Classifying the elements, groups in the periodic table. All modern versions of the periodic table are based on the table proposed by Mendeleev. So how do you pronounce that?
That's Mendeleev, Dmitry
Mendeleev.
Mendeleev.
Okay. Mendeleev in 1869. We have discussed some aspects of the periodic table when describing atomic structure in chapter 2. An example of the periodic table is given in figure 13.2. In the periodic table, elements are arranged in order of increasing proton number. Vertical columns of elements with similar properties are called groups. Horizontal rows are called pages.
Any doubts here? Well, all we need to know is each row is a period and each column is a group. Group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are transition.
Yeah.
In the middle, this block is called the transition metals. Now let's go right. Anas, I want you to read the table right here. The lithium column only.
Okay, lithium, solid at room temperature. Metal, atom has one electron in outer shell. Atom can lose one electron to achieve a noble gas arrangement. Forms a positive ion.
Forms a positive ion. Neha, next one. Next column. Neha,
Yes, sir.
read the next column, hydrogen.
Okay. Hydrogen, it's a gas. Non-metal forms diatomic molecules. Atom has one electron in outer shell. Atom can form either a positive or a negative ion. Can gain one electron to achieve noble gas arrangement or lose its only electron.
Perfect. Now what we realize is that these guys are diatomic molecules. Always they're going to be H2. Now fluorine is a bit similar, but it's also different. Why? Because hydrogen is completely in a different place than fluorine. So fluorine is group 7. Now fluorine is also a gas, is a non-metal, forms diatomic molecules, F2. Atom has 7 electrons instead of 1 electron in the outer shell. Neha, read the last part.
Atom can gain one electron to achieve a noble gas arrangement. It forms a negative ion.
All of them are trying to form the noble gas arrangement. That's what they're trying to do. Now, Anas, read the keywords out loud.
Okay. Where?
Yes.
Keywords, okay. So metalloid is semi-metal element that shows some of the properties of metals and some of non-metals. Example, boron and silicon. Main group elements. The elements in the outer groups of periodic table, excluding the transition elements, groups 1 to 8. Transition elements, transition metals. Elements from the central region of periodic table. They are hard, strong, dense metals which form compounds that are often colored. Alkali metals. Elements in group 1 of the periodic table. They are the most reactive group of metals.
All right,
Periodic
perfect.
property. A property
Now,
of
periodic property, just a second. Alkali metals, they are the most reactive group. Most reactive. Transition metals are hard, strong, dense metals and form compounds that are often colored, so colored compounds. Now, what do we realize from this? We have a few groups right here, and each of them has, let's say, a property which is specific to that group. Now, just a second. Fine. Look at the periodic table. Look at the whiteboard. Can you see it? Not yet. What I want you to do, Neha, is to continue reading from here. Start.
Yeah. Trends in groups. Group 1, the alkali metals. The metals in group 1 are often called the alkali metals. They are soft solids with relatively low melting points and low densities. They are highly reactive and are stirred in oil to prevent them reacting with the oxygen and water vapor in the air. When freshly cut with a knife, all these metals have a light gray silvery surface which quickly tarnishes and becomes dull.
Done. All right. Anas, read the highlighted part only.
Okay. Relatively low melting points, low densities stored in oil to prevent them reacting with the oxygen and water vapor in the air. Cut with a knife.
All right. So now what we realize is that these guys have low melting point, low densities. They're stored in oil to prevent them from reacting with oxygen and air, in the air and water. Just a second. Look at this. Now, guys, can you see the whiteboard? Neha, can you see the whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's start.